senior pastor of the Macedonian Missionary Baptist Church of Waycross, Georgia, also the founder of the Justice Initiative and Fresh Communities, LLC.
Rev Malone, tell us, you had an opportunity to speak with the police chief.
Yes, the police chief came by the house on yesterday, and he wanted to run the scenario down to me as to what took place. From his perspective, the Georgia, they'd already called the GBI in, and when he told me that the young man tried to attack the officer, I asked him very clearly the question, do you actually expect me to believe that? He said, well, he understood that, but I appreciated him coming by. I recently had earlier talked to the mayor, Mayor Bishop Michelangelo James, Commissioner Marion Solomon Gaines, and Commissioner John Threed. So I think they urged him to come by and talk with me.
Is it your position that the charges against the young people are bogus or fraudulent?
I think they're both bogus and fraudulent. I think they were created as to try to substantiate the reason for the actions in which the police took. They are totally out of line and have no merit. I basically asked the chief of police. They said that he was running at 120 miles an hour. I said, do you have the radar? And then he said that the young man tried to attack him, and I said, were the body cameras on? And he said that the GBI was going to investigate all of that. Of course, later on that day, I found that the GBI had come out with a statement, and basically the statement is one covering someone else. That is not anything new that happens in the system. They are simply trying to create a narrative. These children are honor roll students. None of these children get C's. These children they aren't model perfect children. They are children, but they are awesome children. You've seen that in what has been presented. You've seen the parents, how the parents are co-parenting together, how they support each other. So this is not anything strange that Blue Lives Matter and that the GBI will cover for the local police department. And of course, the crooked district attorney is no good either. So there's gonna have to be some actions in which we as citizens are gonna have to do to bring about a change. Waycross should not have a problem with this. This particular officer, one that is involved, Scott Rowell, has been involved in shootings before. He was involved in a shooting with Jack Lamar Robinson, and the temporary D at that time excused the entire thing. We must now use this as the blessing is that all of these children are alive. The blessing is that they're alive, and now we have the witnesses. They don't have a dead witness. We have witnesses to their corrupt practices. In no way was there any reason for deadly force to be used against a 9-year-old, a 12-year-old, a 14-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 16. I am sorry. Deadly force was totally out of line, and those officers need to be terminated, charged, indicted, convicted, and serve time in prison. It is the only time that we're going to begin to turn this system around. It's when we have true accountability and repercussions for their actions.
There is a belief, because it has been reported in multiple publications, that the children had, or one of the children had a gun. Would you clarify that for us?
That is an absolute lie. The children did not have a gun. As a matter of fact, the officers followed them from Walmart and the young man was simply trying to get back home to his parents. They followed them. They never threw the light. We've gotten reports that 911, the entire thing was recorded with the police. They never threw the lights on them. They never did what they call a code 59 to pull them to the side. They never did any of that. It is when they got on the dirt street and the young people told their 3 young siblings to run to go get their parents. And then that's when the police started shooting. And the young man that was driving and his brother, they threw their hands up in surrender while they were in the car. The car was running at about 5 miles an hour. They threw their hands up in surrender to let the police know that we are surrendering. I don't know why you're caught pulling me, but we are surrendering. And the young man was very clear in his mind, because if he had put his hand down to put the car in park, then the police would have said he was reaching for a weapon. And he did not have a weapon. They did not have a weapon. They did not even know that mom had a weapon in the car, in the glove compartment. It was a legal weapon. They were totally unaware of it, and they did not have it anywhere near them. They found out after the fact that the weapon was in the car. And the mother bought it legally. She has all of the rights to have it, and they did not know it was in the car. The police are lying. They are flat out lying, and we must call them to justice. If we don't call them to justice, if the chief don't call them to justice, if the mayor and city council doesn't call them to justice, then Mayor Michael Angelo James needs to sit his behind down